This is Jessica Taylor interviewing Fred Lee Brown on June 15th, 2013, 1:30 p.m. at the Edge Hill service station. Mr. Brown, can you please state your date of birth, if you don't mind?
September 21st, 1954.
Okay. And where is it that you were born?
Well, I was born in the hospital over in Newport News, but my residence was here.
Here, Gloucester Courthouse?
Gloucester Courthouse.
Okay. What were your parents' names and occupations?
Fred L. Brown was an insurance agent here in Gloucester, and my mother was Martha Field Brown.
Okay.
And she worked for him.
Oh, wonderful. What about siblings?
No siblings.
No siblings. So what is your occupation?
I have been a computer programmer.
Okay, and that was in Florida?
It was mostly in Florida. The last 10 years I worked out of my house here in Gloucester.
Wonderful. So where do you live in Gloucester County right now?
In Zanoni.
Zanoni.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the Ware River.
Oh, wonderful. So just right off the bat, what is your earliest memory of Main Street?
Living on Lewis Avenue. Living in a little house on Lewis Avenue.
Okay. So what would bring you down to Main Street?
Just about anything.
Yeah?
Walking to school, any kind of shopping.
Okay. What were the shops that your grandparents or your parents went to?
Let's see. There was J.C. Edwards, I think, was the name of the 5 and 10 cent store. There were a sequence of grocery stores. I think there was an A&P and a Colonial during my youth.
Mm-hmm.
Benny Lee's Market.
Okay.
Or Buck Lee's Market, his father.
Okay.
Post office, the bank.
Okay. What was the change that your parents saw from your grandparents' time?
I just think that probably things were just getting bigger, more populous, that kind of thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Was there anything that went out of business in between?
Oh, I'm sure there were. Can't think of anything offhand that went out of business like during my childhood. Mm-hmm. Most things were probably pretty steady during my childhood.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there were things that changed hands.
Okay.
Plenty of times, but.
That's fair. And one of them is the service station, right?
Well, the service station was always in the hands of my great uncle.
Okay.
Jack Brown, throughout my childhood.
Okay. So did you spend a lot of time here?
No, because they were quite efficient. We would pull through and get the car gassed up and take off.
So what were some of your earliest memories of this? Is it just going through?
Just going through.
Really?
Charging the gas to, everybody had an individual account pretty much, and you filled it up, told them who to charge it to, and drove off.
Okay. So about how many times a week would you come here?
Probably rarely.
Really?
Before I drove, I had very little reason to come here other than just being in the car.
Right.
Certainly my father drove a lot for work, and he came through here a lot, but probably more often without me than with me.
Right. So I guess I should have asked, how much did your parents come here?
Well, my father drove a lot for work, so I think he was in and out quite frequently, and of course he knew all the people here and enjoyed talking to everybody.
Where did he work?
He worked at Southside Insurance Agency.
Where's that?
It started on the court circle itself. It's the building with the big white columns,
right,
which had been my mother's father's insurance agent.
Okay.
Dad took that over when my grandfather died. Mm-hmm. And eventually he built the little brick building that was across from what was then the post office.
Okay.
Near what has recently opened as Heron's Cove.
Okay.
As part of Sanders.
But he drove a lot for work.
He made a lot of calls to his customers, did a lot of inspections.
Mm-hmm. So who was the first person in your family to get a car?
My father had a car as a young man. And probably came here to get gas, or perhaps got gas in Wareneck, where he lived across the street from Jack Brown's house.
Okay. Do you remember the make and model?
I do not.
No.
I was not born.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just wondered if you'd seen old pictures.
I have an old picture of the car, but I don't remember now what it is.
Okay.
I assume a Ford. My father he was one of the first people in his, I'll say, age group or circle of friends to actually own a car, which made him quite popular, I believe.
Yeah. Huh. So did his parents buy the car for him, or did he earn it?
He would have
He would have earned it.
earned it and bought them.
What was he doing then that he earned it?
My father, who was the son of Jack Brown's younger brother, worked lots of jobs as a teenager. His father died when he was very young, and there were lots of kids, lots of mouths to feed. My father was the second oldest. And he worked jobs, from what I can tell, from 24 hours a day when he wasn't in school.
Right.
And made money and helped with the family what they needed, and had some left over
To buy a car.
to buy a car.
Huh. That's interesting that he would, out of all the things that he could buy, he chose a car. It may seem obvious to us, but...
Well, he was down there in Wareneck, and he needed to work. And so I'm sure he used his car to get wherever he needed to be to go to work, to get a job.
Right, right. And he would have gassed up here.
Probably.
Probably.
I think Jack Brown, who had a pier on the Ware River where he got whatever petroleum products he got, I think there was a gas pump.
There's a gas pump there?
There in Wareneck, either at the pier or at the house, at Jack Brown's house. I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
So it's possible my father would have gotten the gas right from there, but it would have been the same deal. It would have been buying the gas from Jack Brown's.
Right. No discount there?
I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I understand. So, as far as this gas station goes, is this the one that your family came to most?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Can you kind of describe the exterior to me as you remember it versus what it looked? You're giving me the eyes.
It looked like a fresher version of what it looks like now, from
So
what
it's
I remember.